Hey guys! So today I'm making a card using the new Mission Watercolor palette that I just picked up recently from Amazon. And for this card, I'm going to be doing quite a bit of watercoloring. So to start things off, I die cut a piece of Strathmore 400 series watercolor paper using my Big Shot. And this die is the stitched Lawn Fawn rectangle die. It's the largest one from the largest set, so it fits the back of a standard size card with no border. I already know that I'm going to be doing quite a bit of stamping, so I was really generous with this anti-static tool. And I'm stamping this rose, and the rose stamp set is called Jumbo Lovely Garden. It's made by Stampendous, all over the background of this card. And I'm actually stamping off the edge because I want to make sure I have space in the middle for my sentiment. So this card required quite a bit of stamping and masking. So I stamped two of the flowers where I could see them in Versamark ink, coated them with embossing powder, and then heat set that embossing powder and repeated the process. And because this particular stamp set is in multiple pieces, so all the different roses and the leaves are separate, I ended up doing quite a bit of stamping, embossing, and stamping and embossing and masking. I ended up creating a mask myself using some masking paper, but this particular stamp set actually does come with a plastic mask for all of the stamps that come in the stamp set in the package. I just didn't realize it until after I had already stamped and created this particular mask. So after I embossed the flowers on the front of the card, I used the mask to cover up that embossing and stamp the leaves on. And I tried to figure out a way to stamp the leaves initially so that I didn't have to do any masking, but I wasn't able to figure out where it connected without looking awkward. So I ended up masking off the rose multiple times, stamping it, and then heat embossing it with white embossing powder. Originally, I chose a sentiment that says happy birthday that you can see here placed on the card, and I placed it down so that I had it as a reference point for where I was going to stamp the rest of the images. And the reason I left it on the card initially is because I wanted to make sure that I left a flat portion that wasn't embossed for stamping the sentiment. But you'll see later on in the video that I actually changed my mind and used a die cut stamp set combo. Once I finished heat embossing all of my stamped images, I moved on to watercoloring. And I'm mixing several colors from the palette in the mixing well, and these are actually some of the brighter colors in this particular watercolor set. And to paint the roses in, I'm actually using quite a bit of water first before I actually drop any paint in. So I have two glasses of water. Unfortunately, you can't see them because they're off camera, but one is dirty water and one's clean water. And I drop the clean water in each of the images first to help the paint spread. And if I put too much paint down, I just use a paper towel to blot some of it away, or I use the paintbrush to blot it away and wipe the paintbrush on a paper towel. So I'm just going to let the painting process continue and play some music because I know some people enjoy watching the painting process. And when I get to the final assembly of the card, I'll come back. while the background panel of my card dries, I'm going to move on to the sentiment. And I didn't want to dig and find a cardstock that was the right color for the sentiment that I'm going to die cut. So I ended up painting a piece of watercolor paper in this dark yellow color and letting it dry. And then I moved on and I used a Wink of Stella pen to add a little bit of glitter to the background. And once the paint was dry, it didn't really reactivate to the Wink of Stella pen. And after that Wink of Stella glitter dried, I went over it with the Thanks die from a Hero Arts stamp set. And I picked a sentiment that's from that same stamp set that comes with the Thanks die and stamped it on the card with VersaFine ink in black onyx. To attach that die cut, I just used a fine paintbrush and a little bit of multi-matte medium. And multi-matte medium fortunately dries clear so that if I have to slide the die over, you won't be able to see the extra glue. And then finally, I was able to attach the background of the card onto a card base using Tombow Extreme adhesive. And that was it. So here's a quick look at the final product. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.
Hey,
Here I was thinking you were going to draw a nude of me.
if you model for me naked, I would.